welcome to Hot Topics on The Rich TV. My name is Uju Unwachugu, and today on Hot Topics, we'll be discussing something that is very dear to us as a people, as Nigerians. We'll be looking at the issue of ethnic suspicion, mistrust, rivalry, and disunity that we're currently experiencing in Nigeria. How did we get here? How did we get to the point where a person cannot freely trust their neighbor just because the person is either speaking the same language as they are or from the same locality as they are? With me in the studio is a very special guest. He's a regular on this show, and I'm sure that today's conversation, I'm hopeful as well as sure that today's conversation is going to prick that nationality, that national, what's the word?
Healing.
Yeah, it's going to prick that national healing that we all desire. Don't go away. Hot Topics will be right back. All right, so welcome back to Hot Topics, and the show today I have Prince Timothy of Webu. He's a journalist, amongst other things, and today he's going to be talking with me about the issue of ethnic suspicion, ethnic mistrust, and disunity that we're currently experiencing in Nigeria. Welcome, Prince.
Thank you so much for the invite, and welcome our viewers.
All right, so let's hit the nail on the head. How did we as a people get to this point where you as an Igbo man does not trust the Yoruba man doesn't trust the Hausa man, and vice versa? What do you think you can pinpoint and say this is what caused it, or this is where this whole thing began?
I think if you go back to 1914, during the amalgamation, it was the amalgamation of so many tribes,
yes,
so many nations, forced into a marriage of convenience. The North and South was merged without their consent. And these are various cultures at play, various religious backgrounds, and so many things were different, but they still managed to be one. We don't want to remember the coup of 1966 because it wouldn't have happened in the first place, or even the revenge coup or the civil wars. These are scares, but these are reminders that there was this race for dominance among various tribes in Nigeria. Then, before 1970, we have three major tribes: the Hausa, the Yorubas, and the Igbos. That's how you have the Wazobia. But now, I can tell you that we have 5 major tribes. In fact, 6. The Hausa, the Fulani, the Kanuri. These are in the north. And in the south, we have the Igbos, the Yorubas, and the Ijaws. Now, these tribes naturally compete. There is nothing bad in sibling rivalry, peer rivalry. If you notice that the West was doing well in education in the 60s with their free education, the East also want to do well. When the West set up University of Nigeria, the East also, University of Ibadan, the East also set up University of Nigeria in Nsukka. And the North said, what? They set up their own, and we call it ABU.
So that's healthy rivalry.
That is healthy rivalry.
Yes.
They not have their agricultural pyramids, if you remember.
Yes.
And then the West have their cocoa, and the East have their palm oil. So they were just competing. That even an Igbo man will win an election in Kano, a Kano man will win an election at Enugu, Zik won an election in Lagos. So that was how we are. But I think things damaged during the war and after the war. I don't know, I may be wrong, this is my own view, that people begin to suspect others. Now, in Nigeria, it's true. By the way, Among also the minor tribes, if you go to Benue, you will notice there's also rivalry and suspicion between the Domas and the thieves, the Efiks and their brothers. So these people will be thinking that this person wants to dominate us. And they'll be doing everything to free themselves from that domination. So these things now is out of control. And nobody will doubt what I'm about to say. It has gotten worse under this present government. If you remember the Asaba Declaration we discussed the other time, one of their prayers to the president is that stop appointing people only from one geopolitical zone, especially from one religion. Most of these agitations you are seeing, let me tell you, is born out of the fear that one tribe is dominating the others.
But before we got to this present administration, we've had some of these issues back then, where we'd find people, people who are not necessarily politically aware, who would say certain things amongst their network. Oh, don't trust him, he's from there. Oh, don't marry her, she's from there. Don't accommodate him, don't help him, he's from that other part of the country.
Yeah.
So that all of these were already happening before this administration came to
It's
power.
happening, but it's on a minor level.
Okay.
The man in the street don't care. Let me tell you, they are always uniting bond. At every mosque in a metropolitan city in the north and in the west, where you have also a good Muslim populations, how can an Hausa and Fulani and Kanuri and Yoruba and even now Igbos are becoming Muslims pray together? I'm a Catholic. How do we go to church? We don't care whether the parish priest or the assistant, they are Hausas, they are Yoruba, they are Igbos. All of us congregate together. We go to club, youths, they party together. They go to international groups like Rotary and others, they are together. They live in estates, they form a residence association, landlord association, they are together. In the market, I was at the Karu market today, I visited a friend. And I noticed that the chairman of the market, Karu Market Traders Association, Abuja, is an Hausa man. I even went to the shop to greet him. His assistant is an Igbo secretary, Yoruba. So these people are together every day, man. Okada Riders Association, Traders Association, Pepe, they don't mistrust each other. Whenever politicians run out of their own ulterior motives or the elites, they will bring division. Because they will gain out of it.
Okay.
They will say, "Whoa, they are Hausa Fulanis. They want to dominate us. Resist. I am fighting for your marginalization." Once they give him money, after making noise, he will keep quiet. Oh, Igbos, they are buying over our land everywhere. Igbos, why are they there? He will be the first to sell his own land to the Igbos. So I don't know the problem with this, some of our politicians. We need unity. And the best way to unite is when you begin to appreciate that we have diversity, but it will be for unity. I am an Igbo man, you will never force me to be an Hausa man. I'm a Christian, you will never force me to be a Muslim. In the office where I'm working, so many Muslims, so many Christians, we have people from almost all major ethnic groups. We come together for common purpose. So I think how this ethnic rivalry, suspicions and everything starts is when politicians and political leaders, elites, begin to shout it to the top. It's a kind of a top-bottom issue. The people in the bottom don't care. They are united in suffering. They are united in not sending their children to the best schools. They are denied health care. That's why when they protest together. They eat together. They marry themselves. Even they date themselves. Yes, initial relationship, maybe somebody might be say, I'm now from Anambra, and the Anambra person is cutting someone from Borno. And from Anambra to Borno, Maiduguri, not even by the time you talk about far places like Bama, you'll be talking about 2,000 kilometers. So how many parents, in the real sense of it, will like to visit their in-laws and spend 3 days to go and 3 days to come. So this is a cultural issue. Not that they don't love each other, but I say it again, it's the people at the top that are mainly causing this confusion.
All right, we'll take a break, and when we come back on hot issues, we're going to be looking at, is this an African thing? Because some of what has happened or is happening in Nigeria, we can find happening in some other African nations. Is it just something that has to do with us Africans, or is it peculiar to our nation, Nigeria? We'll be right back. Yo, welcome back. It's still Hot Topics on the Rich TV, and today we're talking about ethnic suspicion, disunity, mistrust, rivalry, you name it. You experienced it, you're either experiencing it or you have experienced it before, and so have I. How did we get here? And moving on, we're going to look at if this is just an African thing, or is it peculiar to us as Nigerians? Some years ago in Rwanda, it was the Hutsis and the Tutsis, and we saw what a genocide that became. Is this an issue peculiar to us Africans?
Well, I will also say you that it's a world issue. Let me tell you, do you know what caused World War First and Second World War? It's rivalry. Okay. The Germans believe that they are the superior race more than others. And they were suspicious of the Jews. And Hitler and his Nazi party believed that the best way to rule the world is by killing all the Jews. And that's how the consecration camp and every other thing came up. And so many Jews were massacred, locked up, their businesses destroyed.
Okay. So
it's not even African thing, no, it's a worldwide issue. Today in China, there is alleged ethnic cleansing somewhere there for people that are religious. They are minority. It's all over. It's all over. You see it. In US, do you think that the South and North agree? It may be hidden. They might be talking their democracy, shining their teeth, and selling it to the world, but it's there. Everybody knew that the protest about Black Lives Matters means that the minorities in the US somehow or the other are being trampled upon. They have to rise. And with the death of that man, they kneeled on his neck for almost 10 minutes. People saw how a white police officer can treat a black person. He couldn't have treated a white person like that. Go to South Africa, we call the most developed democracy in Africa. How can it be the most developed? When apartheid was there for more than 100 years, it's the Boers. It's the descendants of the Europeans there that subjected the owners of the land, the blacks, and created a system of government that made them not to go to school. When I went to South Africa, I wept. When they are singing Soweto and all these things, it's easy to listen. You don't know. Until I got there, I insisted in going to Soweto, Southwestern Township. I don't think there is anywhere like that in Nigeria. I saw something similar like that when I went to Liberia. When I went to Monrovia, there's a place they call West Point. The slum of the slum. That was how they subjected our brothers, uprooted them from their family lands and ancestral land and sent them to camps elsewhere. And those camps, they call it Southwestern Township, Soweto. And they are there now. No land, no nothing. Denied them education and everything. Mandela talked, they jailed him. So he's there. And you mentioned Rwanda. Let me give you the date. 1st April 1994. And you know what I am so much interested about Rwanda? They have two major tribes, the Hutu and the Tutsi. And do you know what is shocking to me? The Hutu are called Hutu because they are rouge. And the Tutsi are called Tutsi because they are slim. And now they said the slim people are educated and they are a minority and they are dominating the people who are rouge and begin to wipe off sentiment. One radio station, wipe off sentiment, mention their names, their addresses, call them cockroaches because of their size and say, go after them and kill them. Unfortunately, they shut down the president. And within 100 days, 800,000 Rwandans were killed with cutlasses.
Now, this is clearly showing that this is a human thing, not
It's a
necessarily
human thing.
African.
It's in America.
Or European.
In fact, it's in UK. Why do you think that the Irish are not agreeing with the Britain? Why didn't the Northern Ireland follow them in the Brexit? It's because of dominance. They don't trust them.
If that is the case, then is there any need to hope for a change? Because, I mean, if it's something happening all around the world.
Let me address, in case this video goes viral, the people in the present government in Nigeria are not helping matters. You don't say because the president is from a particular tribe, every plum job we go to that tribe. It's not done where you have over 400 tribes that makes up a fragile nation called Nigeria. The suspicion now will be real. So when people say that the Hausa Fulani of northern extraction that are mainly Muslims are taking over the job, the evidences are there. You can't deny it. And I say again, let the president and his manager look at the Southern Declaration. It will bring peace in this country. You don't just because your brother wins, you take over every apparatus, from security to NMPC, from everywhere. It's never done. Do you know why? I'm laughing. When your brother is gone, and another person comes, Yoruba, Igbo, Ijo, Kanuri, anything, or even Benue man, even the man in Kogi State, whoever that comes, and begin to remove all those people there and put his own brothers and sisters, with what mouth will you complain? And it's because of that ethnic and tribal rivalry in Nigeria that the drafters of our 1999 Constitution saw the need to put federal character there and say, let positions be rotated among, even they even use almost protest system. They have federal character commission. You can't count for something like Ministry of Defense. Every person there is from one tribe and one religion. You are not helping. So the hope there is balance it.
Okay.
Nobody owns Nigeria. Nigeria is not the property of Hausa Fulani, not the property of Igbo, it's not the property of Yorubas. Since the British are merged us together in marriage, for now, all of us are major stakeholders.
All right.
And until you treat other tribes with respect, until you accept them. Whenever I go to a place like Kano, I stand in awe. Governor Gandu just said in their internal generation that Igbos are contributing more than any other group. Okay. Because in Sabon Gari, where the majority of them live, they are organized. You go to Keda, these are the Kaduna Association of Kaduna Electrical Dealers, Kanu Electrical Dealers Association. They collect their tax in group. I've made their president one young man and hand over to government. Okay. People sell land to them. They don't disturb them. The Kanu people don't disturb them. They don't disturb anybody. Our own family house is still in Merit Village in Maiduguri. I spent my 6 youthful years in Maiduguri, Borno State. They never bothered us. Yeah. We never bothered them. That's why I told you that the common man can stay together, go to Meshai to drink his tea, go to my fruit and go to Mekaya. They are together. But these elites are the ones causing confusion, and the political leaders.
How then would you advise the regular Nigerian to see beyond just what he's been fed?
Number one, let me start with the Southerners. I want to talk to my Southern brothers and sisters. 3/4 if not 99% of Igbos, in particular in Yorubas I spoke to, have never been in the north. Okay. They don't even know what Abuja looks like. They've not been to Zamfara, they've not been to Kano, they've not been to Kaduna. So somebody is feeding them that an average Hausa Fulani man is wicked. And how can you believe such a thing when you have not had dealing with a person? In my 3 companies, the board members are Hausa Fulani members. My PA is a Hausa Fulani member, and I'm my PA to one of them again. That's the funny thing in life. In Kaduna, whenever I go to Kaduna in the last 3 years, I stay in their houses. And when somebody, I say, hey, you're saying, be careful, because the negative things that are being fed on the person's head by these rumor mongers. Okay. Some of these things are not done. And there are some outsiders. In fact, if I'm talking about Igbos and Yoruba, now 98%, 100, in fact, 99.99999% of Northerners have not gone to South. They don't know what Onitsha look like. They've never had a dealing with Igbo man. They've not been to Oshobo. They hear there's a place called Uyo. They've never been there. You never had anything to do with it. And some they say in BBC Hausa that in Nyamere, meaning Igbos or anything Southerner, that they are evil, they are wicked, they are not to be trusted, and you believe. So why not have a personal dealing with the person first? What will be the solution is when we unite. And the best way to unite is to respect the other person's view. Okay. Respect the person's culture. Respect the person's religion. All the killings we are having from the group of terrorists and insurgents today is out of disrespect. You can't force a Christian to be a Muslim. And a Christian can't force a Muslim to be a Christian. And you can't even force a Muslim to adapt to your own brand of Islam. Be on your own. This is a private issue between you and your Allah, between you and your God, Oluwa, Shuku, anything you call your deity is a private thing. It's only in Nigeria we blow it out of proportion. And then, do you know that Unity schools in secondary school was built by Gowon government so that our children from all places will come together? NYSC was meant to be a unifying factor. Yes. So that as a young graduate, you go outside your tribe to know how others are doing, so that you be an agent of unity. So
regardless of all of this, we're still here.
So we are still here. Know? So but people are now, today, even people don't want their children to also live for the NSC. Because they say now you are going to North, they say they will kill you. So they are going to South, they say they will turn, they are cannibals, they will eat you. So they go to NYSC, force them or bribe them, as alleged, to change the Shai to remain in Kano again, or to remain in Enugu. So how will you know what other tribes are doing?
Okay, with that being said, now let's look at practical ways that the leaders, whether from all cadres, whether president or governor or ministers, National Orientation Agency and all the other parastatals have been put in place for this purpose, what practical thing can you say that they need to begin to do if this country is ever going to get to a place where unity is our reality?
Well, the funniest thing is that those who are packaging the president, like I say, are not helping him. Imagine the president coming to work on Monday in Igbo attire like this, Isiago, and his northern brothers and sisters are seeing him. He's sending a message. On Tuesday, he dresses like a Yoruba man with a apati aja kind of cap that is folded. And then on coming to a fake meeting, he comes with the thief kind of dress. Yeah. I'm telling you, in communication, they call semiotic communication. People are looking at him as a father. I'm not talking about only President Buhari that is about to go in 2 years coming, but every other president, even Abuja, the call center of unity, people who design Abuja supposed to be flogged at 9 lashes on their bare buttocks. Because most of the names are Agbari names. And you say this is the center of unity. Wuse, Asokoro, Maitama, Tunjimaga, Lokogoma. These are Agbari names. Why not call the Wuse market Bodija market as we have it in Atebada? Why not call the Gariki market Oye or Nkwo market? Why not begin to see unity? The street where I live, they even name it after a leader in Egypt. The one facing it, the leader in Kuwait. The other one, they name it after one Arab man. I don't know when he died. So we are not even serious about it. If somebody now gets up and say, I'm going to Nkwo market, Abuja, and somebody say, what is Nkwo? You say, oh, it's an Igbo major market. Okay. That's unity. So you can't say this is a place of unity and every zone is also Gwari name. So we are not serious. Today we are serious in this country, we know. Though I'm happy about some of the monuments, like the airport is in Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport. Yeah. We have a major street, Good Luck Jonathan, Basanjo way, so they are correcting it. So we will get there one day. And when you get to Igbo land, even the word of Fege, it's an Hausa word. We have Fege zone at Onitsha.
Yes, I know about
So these are the ways when people begin to ask, so, oh, there was an Hausa man that helped to build this zone. He has died. So we will help in our little ways.
Wow, that's amazing. So this basically puts the responsibility on everyone, both leaders and
Everybody.
the people. Everybody has a role to play. And with that, I would like to add also that you see the thing we do where we pass down to our children, oh, don't play with her, he's Yoruba. Don't play with her, she's Igbo. That's
or do business with the person.
Or do business with
or
this person.
employ.
Yeah, yes,
or
exactly.
employ her.
So that's how most of us actually have some of the mindsets that we have, the preconceived mindsets we have about other people. We heard it growing up. We saw it around. Other people treated other people. In fact, sometimes it's so bad that people of the same tribe treat other people of the same tribe but different states different. The Imo man does not trust the Anambra man. The Anambra man does not believe the Ebonyi man is an Igbo is an Igbo person. You know, things like that will not get us
maybe
anywhere.
Newe man doesn't trust our Guata man.
You know, so it is actually eating so deep, and if we're ever going to get out of it, we have to take personal responsibility, whether you are an individual, whether you are a leader, whatever capacity or position you find yourself, ensure that the information about the next person passing from you to your generation or to the next generation is correct. When in doubt, then say nothing.
I believe you. We call it prejudices. And profiling and using stereotypes.
Yes.
For instance, Igbos love money. Okay. I'm an Igbo from Anambra. The truth is that that's the truth. But who doesn't?
Who doesn't, actually?
Yorubas love party. And the person saying it is planning his or her wedding party the next week. Hausas love power. And your brother that is governor, you are making everything to work in his office because he holds power. You know, we lie to ourselves. This is something we grew up hearing. Just as you rightly said, it became part of us that we don't even interrogate it. Everybody loves power, want to be in power. Everybody loves money. Everybody loves party, want to live a fulfilling, happy life. I've lived among the Yorubas for 22 years. I learn a lot from them. I've lived in the North before. Now I'm back. I learn. One thing I even love Northerners is their brotherhood. If you are a multi-millionaire, a billionaire, you descend so low and be with your brothers. You eat together. You're dying together, even with your driver. The first day somebody saw me eating with my driver in a top hotel with the same food, he said, I am doing something wrong. I said, why? He said that he will not respect me. I said, no. When you treat your cook, your driver, and your security man, and people working for you badly, they are the people that will sell you. He's a human being. I tell you that the driver even have HND. In this office now, he's my PA. Okay. No more driver. Okay. So that is life. I learned it from the outside. I learned about Yorubas, how to celebrate yourself. So you can pick it. Yorubas don't believe that you keep your money till you die. They celebrate themselves. They celebrate those that are around them. I love it. And they are metropolitan in thinking. As an Igbo man, the entrepreneurship, I don't need to go to Lagos Business School, though I went to Lagos Business School. But it's in me. It's inborn. So other tribes will learn it from us. Entrepreneurship. I learned from this person, you learn from this person. Yes. When I went to Benue, I enjoyed the bush meat with pounded yam and vegetable soup. Went to Calabar, Idikaiko was there. Went to Kanuri, that is Borno State, Blabusco. I went to Kano, Mian Kuka, Utuo Masara. Went to Ibadan, Amara. You know, so you become a true Nigerian. You will be happy. You'll be happy. But when I begin now to suspect them, how can I eat what the Kanuris do? How can I discuss with any of them? How can a bloody Igbo work in my office? What do an Hausa man or woman know to be employed here? You are not helping this country. Indeed. And we say again, though tribes and tongues may differ, but in one brotherhood we stand.
Thank you so much, Prince Timothy. Always a pleasure having a conversation with you. It's been Hot Topics right here on The Reach TV. And today we've been talking about ethnic suspicions, disunity, and mistrust that has been happening. I'm sure, like I said at the beginning, you have experienced it. I have experienced it in one way or the other. We really hope that we all will do what we can to ensure that our dear nation, Nigeria, remains united. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll be signing out now. I'll see you next time on Hot Topics. Remember to subscribe, like, and share this video to your family and friends. And be a good Nigerian. Spread the word about our unity.